Hi, my name is Chandrakishore of Class 82. Today I am going to present a PPT on solar energy. Solar energy, sun's heat and light can be felt as by every day. Solar energy trapped from the sun can be used in solar cells to produce electricity. Many of the cells are joined into solar panels to generate power for heating and lighting purposes. Where are all solar energy used? Solar cookers, solar heaters, solar dryer, community lighting, traffic signal, etc. Solar cooker. It is a device which uses the direct sunlight to heat, cook, or pasteurize, drink, and other food material. Many solar cookers currently in use are relatively expensive, low-tech devices, although some are as powerful or as expensive as traditional stoves. And advanced large-scale solutions can cook for hundreds of people. Solar heaters. It is the conversion of sunlight into heat for water heating using a solar thermal collect or a variety of configurations available at varying cost to provide solution in different climates and latitudes. Solar dryers. Solar dryers are devices that use solar energy to dry substances, especially food. There are two general types of solar dryers, direct and indirect. Direct solar dryers. These solar dryers expose the substance to dehydrate through direct sunlight. Indirect solar dryers. The black surface heats incoming air rather than directly heating the substance to be dry. Community lighting. Solar street lights are raised light sources which are powered by solar panels generally mounted on the lighting structure or integrated into the pole itself. Traffic signal. Solar traffic lights are signaling devices powered by solar panels positioned at road intersections, pedestrian crossings, and other locations to control the flow of traffic. He is Charles Frick. He is the one who invented selenium cell in 1883. The world's first rooftop solar array using Fritz's selenium cell was installed in 1884 on a New York City rooftop. He is Russell Holt, who developed the Charles Frick selenium cell in 1898, January 30. Solar cell. How a solar cell works. Benefits of solar cell. How a solar cell works. Solar cells are made using layers of semiconducting material such as silicon, which is sensitive to light. These layers absorb the photons in sunlight. As the photons are absorbed, these electrons in the photons are split from their atoms, and the electrons flow through the silicon, producing electricity. As a consequence, benefits of solar cell. The benefits of solar cells were quickly realized by NASA. The concept satellites that could be self-sufficient means that geostationary communication satellites could be developed. Both Russian and American advances in solar development continued through the 1970s and 1980s, driven by the space race. Today, high-efficiency space-quality solar cells are being tested that are up to 40% efficient. For the first time, however, the development of photovoltaic solar cells is now being funded by industry as much as by space research. Solar Electricity Handbook, a simple practical guide to use a solar panel and design and installing photovoltaic PV system. This book was installed at 2011. This book used us how to maintain a solar panel, how much cost and how much expensive it is. Thank you.
Hydropower, or hydroelectricity, refers to the conversion of energy from flowing water into electricity. It is considered a renewable energy source because the water cycle is constantly renewed by the sun. One of the first uses of hydro energy was for mechanical milling, such as grinding grains. But today, modern hydro plants produce electricity using turbines and generators. The mechanical energy created by moving water spins rotors on a turbine. This turbine is connected to an electromagnetic generator, which produces electricity when the turbine spins. There are two main types of hydroelectricity production: dams and run-of-river. Hydro dams utilize the potential energy from dammed water to produce electricity. A dam is a large barrier constructed to raise the level of water and control its flow. The elevation created by the dam creates gravitational force for turning the turbine when water is released. Some dams also contain an additional reservoir at their base where water is stored to be pumped to the higher reservoir for release when electricity is in demand. This is referred to as pumped storage hydro.
Good afternoon to all. I am Navitra from class 8A4 and I am going to say about one of the non-conventional sources which is wind energy. Wind energy. Wind energy is air pulled from airflow by using wind turbines. Sometimes sails are used to produce mechanical or energy power. After hearing this word, wind energy, we know that some energy which is derived from the wind. Location. They are located in mountains, coastal areas, cliffs. Because when these are areas which is little high from the surface, they can get enough amount of wind. Uses of wind energy. I just classified into olden days and modern days. In olden days, they used for grinding grains and lifting water. Modern days, we use wind turbine to produce electricity. Advantages and disadvantages. Advantages: no pollution, lowest price renewable resources, don't produce atmospheric emissions that cause acidic rains and greenhouse effects. Disadvantages: depending on how energetic a wind site is, the wind farm may or may not be cost competitive. Wind energy cannot be stored because unless batteries are used. Sometimes birds are being killed by flying into rotors, which is wind turbine. Top 5 states of India to produce wind energy. Tamil Nadu 58%, Maharashtra 23%, Gujarat 10%, Rajasthan 9%. I just collected this in approximate values. Facts on wind energy. Largest wind turbine is Halite 12. Smallest wind turbine is Blowlight. Wind farms. So wind farms are a group of area where wind turbines are arranged in a proper arrangements. So wind farms are most probably found in Netherlands, Denmark, UK, USA, and Spain and Germany. These are noted for their wind energy production. Thank you for giving this opportunity on this day. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Joshita of class 84 here to speak about my tidal energy project. Okay, let's go straight. What do you mean by tidal energy? The energy produced from the tides are known as tidal energy or tidal power. This type of energy is found near coastal areas, that is seashore. Tidal energy is harnessed by building dams over the opening of the sea, where we usually get the tides more often. How tidal energy is produced. During the high tide, when the level of water in the sea increases, the sea water flows into the reservoir of the baggage and turns the turbines. And when these turbines turn on, the generator shaft produces electricity. This is how tidal energy is produced. Uses of tidal energy. We can use tidal energy to supply electricity to our homes and businesses. Second, we can use tidal energy in some places instead of burning coal and oil to contribute global warming. Global warming is caused by increase of carbon dioxide. This is caused when there is a more amount of carbon dioxide present in the atmosphere due to burning of fossil fuels. We can reduce it out by using natural non-conventional sources like these. Advantages of tidal energy and disadvantages of tidal energy. Advantages of tidal energy are: tidal energy is a renewable form of energy. It is an environment friendly resource of energy. It has a capability to store large amount of energy compared to other forms of energy. It is a cheap resource. Disadvantages of tidal energy. Cost of the construction of tidal power plant is high. There are only few idle localized for construction and plant localized in coastal areas. They are not populated more in areas and can be only found in coastal area sites. Influences aquatic life and disturb migration of fish. Thank you. I hope you like this video.
Good afternoon, everyone. This is T. Honey of Class 8A4, here to give a speech on the topic geothermal energy. What is geothermal energy? Geothermal energy is energy derived from the Earth's internal heat. This heat is generated by the radioactive decay of minerals and the continual heat loss of the Earth's core. The heat from the core continuously radiates outward, warming rock, water, and other geological material. Here we can see the geothermal power plants. Features of geothermal energy: hot springs, geysers, fumaroles, and mud pots. Here we can see the hot springs, geysers, fumaroles, and mud pots. Places that use geothermal energy and its uses. Geothermal features have great benefits. Geothermal processes create heat and electricity that provide power and hot water to cities in Iceland, New Zealand, Italy, and Northern California. As well as being used for energy sources, geothermal waters can also contain minerals and elements such as sulfur, gold, silver, and mercury that can be recovered and used. So here we can see the geothermal power plants in the countries Iceland, New Zealand, Italy, and Northern California. Advantages of geothermal energy. Geothermal energy sourcing is good for the environment. Geothermal is a renewable source of renewable energy. High efficiency of geothermal systems. Little to no geothermal system maintenance. Disadvantages of geothermal energy. Environmental concerns about greenhouse emissions. Possibilities of depletion of geothermal sources. High investment costs for geothermal system. Land requirements for geothermal system to be installed. Conclusion. The Earth's geothermal resources are theoretically more than adequate to supply humanity's energy needs, but only a few very small fraction may be profitably exploited. Drilling and exploration for deep resources is very expensive. Forecasts for the future of geothermal power depend on the assumption about technology, energy prices, subslides, plate boundary movements, and intersect rates. Pilot programs like EWEB's Customer Opt-in Green Power Program shows that customers would be willing to pay a little more for renewable energy source like geothermal. But as a result of government assisted research and industry experience, the cost of generating geothermal power has decreased by 25% over 1980s and 1990s. In 2001, geothermal energy cost between 2 and 10 US cents per kilowatt hour. About 100,000 people are employed in the industry. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I am Aiklandeshwari of class 8A4 done a PPT on the topic of biogas. First, what is a biogas? A biogas is a gaseous fuel which is converted from organic waste. It consists of methane, carbon dioxide, along with the small amount of hydrogen sulfide and moisture. Then this is the picture of biogas digester. Next, what is a biogas plant? A biogas plant consists of a dome-like structure. Organic food materials such as discarded food residues, fat, sludge, cow dung, etc. are mixed with water and fed to the digester through the inlet. This is the picture of biogas plant in Australia. Advantages of biogas. Number 1. It is non-polluting, hence biogas burns without smoke. Number 2. Reduces landfills. Number 3. Cheaper technology. Number 4. Generates employment, especially in rural areas. Number 5. Renewable source of energy. Next, what are the disadvantages of biogas? Number 1. Not efficient on a large scale. Number 2. Contains impurities. It contains many impurities which are difficult to be controlled even after rounds of purification. Number 3. Unstable and hazardous. When methane comes in contact with oxygen, it reacts violently to produce carbon dioxide. Thank you for giving me this opportunity.